women of influence. The glory of the Lord shine on you. Arise, shine, for your light now has come. Women of influence, the glory of the Lord shine on you. Oh, the glory of the Lord shine on you.
Well. Welcome. Guess what? I did a good job last week, so I've been asked to come back again. Yeah! How excited. Wow. I hope we had a blast last week. And today's topic, it's another exciting one. Money matters in marriage. Money matters in marriage. So this is what we're all going to do. We are going to try to share the video and tell a friend that the Women of Influence is live. Well, it's Women of Influence. I'm sitting in for Reverend Mrs. Victoria Creppy. This coming weekend is her birthday, and she's decided to take off until after her birthday. All right? So hopefully next week she will be back to host my sound. All right. To host what do you call it? The Women of Influence. So please do me a favor, share the video wherever you are, and let's do this together. All right? So everybody, wherever you are, share the video. Let's take some few minutes, and let's share the video. Let's share the video right now. This topic is so important that I do not want anybody to miss out. So if you can tell a friend to tell a friend, and then we can do this together. Share the video right now. Wherever you are, share it. I want to take a minute to share my video. So join me in doing same. Let's do, hey, fire. It's been a while. Share the video wherever you are. Share the video to all the various pages. Please join me as I host. All right, so please keep sharing the video. Please keep sharing the video wherever you are. Share the video. We want to get 100 shares right now. Let's get 100 shares wherever you are. Today's topic is money matters in marriage. All right? This is one of the gray areas in people's relationship. It's created a lot of problems. It's created a lot of issues. Marriages have failed because of these money matters. So wherever you are, please join me. Share the video. And let's do this together. Okay? Let all your friends know we are live. And let me give a shout out to some few folks who have already joined us. All right, Karen, good afternoon to you too. I'm glad you've joined us. Share the video right now. I need at least 20 people before I start sharing with you what I need to share with you. Okay, share the video. And give me a lot of hearts, all right? Give me a lot of hearts. If I'm saying something and you love it, give me hearts, okay? Show me love, so I'll be asked to come back again. Last week, we did a great job. They asked us to come back again. So if we keep doing well, who might know? We'll be given a permanent seat on a woman of influence. I can't wait for that. All right, so now let's get into the subject for today. Money matters. Money matters in marriage. Okay? Money matters in marriage. And now that the tax season is here, stimulus check is coming, a lot of plans are going on, a lot of people are making plans. But I want to share some practical truth and facts with us. In my notes here, I said money is very important in marriage. It can make or mar any marriage, any relationship. Relationship has been destroyed. Marriages have been destroyed because of money issues. How can we avoid these problems in our marriages? Okay? Because if you have money, it's good. And if you have money and you don't know how to manage it, it can also create problem. And this is what has created a lot of problems in a lot of people's marriages. And we don't want to repeat these mistakes. Money is so important in marriage that without money, there is always tension in a marriage that lacks funds or there's no money. If there's no money, there's going to be tension. Tension between husband and wife. And it's not love issue. You know, when we're doing the marriage conference this year, last month, I said something very critical and important. You know, many people think that, oh, if I love somebody, love is enough to make the marriage work. But as you stay in marriage and you've been in love for a while, you realize that love alone is not enough. Love alone is not enough. So money is also important. And yet we've seen that money has also created tension and brought confusion and brought challenges. And some of these challenges is what I want us to talk about and see how we can avoid them in our relationship and in our marriage. There are people who are courting now, and there's already tensions in the relationship in regarding to money. It shouldn't be. But if it is, why is it so? And how can we avoid these things in our relationship? Okay? So here is the question. Experts have said that money is responsible for most divorces in the world, worldwide. It's not just an issue with United States of America. It's a global problem. It's a global problem. And you who is listening to me, if you are married, how can you avoid these money issues that create periodical argument and tension? If you go into the marriage between a couple in a relationship, most of the things they argue about, it all traces to money issues. The bill is not paid on time. This have to be done. It requires money. You have to change my car oil. It requires money. My car is giving me a problem. It requires money. The children's clothes has to be changed. It requires money. The mortgage, the rent, all of these things has to do with money. How do we avoid the arguments about money? Okay? Somebody spend money they shouldn't spend. Somebody is hiding money from their partner. Okay, when I get the money, we spend it together. When you get yours, you are hiding it. So what's going on here? What's going on here? You have your projects that you are accumulating and saving your money to fulfill that project. I have need also. I have my project, and I keep bringing mine, and it's a common fund. We all use it. But when you get yours, it's hidden. So we're going to be looking at these critical issues to see how we can be able to deal with it. All right? I want to, again, acknowledge and I appreciate those of you who are on board today. Again, Pastor Nana Adade, thank you. Pastor Nana said another bombshell topic. Yeah. We want to deal with practical issues that will help people. Okay, so please quickly keep sharing the video and let everybody know we are live. So the question here is this. What is the connection between money and marriage? Very important. What is the connection between money and marriage? And I'm going to give you some experts' advice and the connection. Number one connection. Marriage is always difficult when the needs of the family cannot be met. That's the first connection between money and marriage. Marriage becomes difficult when the needs of the family cannot be met. We can't pay the rent, there's no grocery, the children's clothes, we can't, buy even milk and all of that. It creates tension. It becomes difficult. So poverty is a major reason why a lot of marriages have failed. So how can we avoid that? And I'm already treating how to break financial hardship during our nightly broadcast. So if you haven't joined us, please make time and join us tonight at 7 p.m. because I started last night. Marriage is money in marriage is very important. The lack of it can create problems. A lot of marriages have failed, not because husband and wife didn't love each other. Many engagement has been broken, not because the lovers didn't love themselves. It's because it was money issue. So if there's no money, it creates problem. So how can I avoid this problem is why I'm sharing this thing. Number two, the connection between money and marriage. Number two, debt is a bondage. It can be damaging as it makes the debtor a servant to the lender. It destroys love at home. When the home is full, either one of you is in debt or the entire family, husband is in credit card debt, the wife is in credit card debt, and there's pressure. So every money that hits the account, guess what? It's been garnished. The creditors after you. It won't bring happiness into the marriage. It won't bring joy into the marriage. So it's always creating tension in a marriage. So how do we avoid this thing? We're going to be looking deep into it and see how we can avoid this. So if you are sitting down there wondering, is there a connection between money and marriage? Yes, there is a connection. And I just told you, there are two major things that leads to divorce, especially in the United States of America. Lack of intimacy, sex and money. Sex and money. And the reason why I feel so strongly we need to talk about it, now that it's tax season, and people are preparing tax, and money is going to come, people are going to be arguing. This is the times that most pastors' offices get busy because wife is going to call. My husband is cheating me. We file our taxes, and I don't know what happened. The money is gone, and I have plans. The children need clothes. We need to pay this. We need to do that, and I don't know what to do. We want to avoid that this year. We want to avoid that. So debt. I remember 2 years ago, around this time, I was somewhere relaxing and I got a phone call. And when I got a phone call, somebody was crying on the other side. I said, what has happened? What is going on? He said, could you believe this? That, my student loan that I have, blah, 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 they have garnished my entire tax refund and were weeping. And they had plans with the money. Debt. So when the husband or wife or both are in debt, it can create undue tension in the marriage. And you see, you are always under tension, you are always under stress, you are not happy. And when you are not happy, guess what? You are not nice to each other. And it can create all manner of difficulties and problems in a marriage. And then the third connection between money and marriage is bad money habits. Bad money habits, all right? Extravagance, expenditure, stinginess, like not sharing with your spouse what God has given you. You don't want to share. You don't want to share. When you have money, you hoard it and you keep it, you hide it. And yet when your spouse gets everybody shares. That's bad money habit. And you can't do that in a marriage. If your spouse begins to realize that you're becoming selfish, self-centered, that you get or you never have money, and yet you are working, and yet you get blessed, and yet you have returns from some investment, but it's hidden, and you are investing in your own self. You don't remember my birthday. You don't remember our anniversary. I don't get no gift from you. All these things create undue pressure that can create problems in a marriage. All right? Let me handle one question here, and then I'll continue from there. Why is money such an issue today in marriages? Good question. And here is the answer. The Bible says money answers all things. Okay? Money, this whole world operates on money. If you don't have money, you can't live where you are living. Okay? If even your house is paid for, you still need money to maintain it. You still need electricity. You have to pay. You still need water. You have to pay. All right? Every now and then, there's wear and tear. You have to do renovation. Okay? Food to eat and all of that. Money is so important. It is the management of the money that will make the difference in that marriage. If you abuse the money, if you don't manage the money very well, then it creates undue pressure and challenges in the home, and which is what we want to avoid, and that's why we are sharing this. So money is very critical, and money is very important. I'm telling you, money is good. The Bible never said that money is evil. It said the love of money is what is evil. So I want to challenge and encourage you that you take it very important, and then the Bible says money is a defense, and wisdom is also a defense. Here's another question. He said, what are some key principles when it comes to marriage and money? I'm going to be sharing that with you to know, all right? First of all, begin to understand that as married couples, we are stewards of every money that God gives to us. And so the first thing we do is this. When God blesses us with money, we must honor God who gave the money to us in the first place by giving our tithe. By giving our tithe. First principle that you need to. The principle of tithing. Because if I tithe, then what? I have committed God to continue to supply me with abundance of money. If I don't give my tithe, things become tight. Then number two, the second principle, pay yourself. Before you pay your rent, before you buy groceries, before you pay your debt, pay yourself. What does that mean? Build a culture of savings. Take 10% of whatever money that you are getting. So if you earn $1,000, all right, you pay your tithe, $100, and then you take another $100 and put it as your savings before you pay your rent, before you pay your car note, before you pay every other thing. If you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you will never get to a point where you are stranded. You always have money for rainy day. When unexpected expenditures and things break down, you always have something to follow. And there will not be tension, and there will not be. I have to learn this thing the hard way. All right? So these are some few things. I'll go into details as we go forward. And then here's another question. Do you have to share all money that comes into the house? Now, that question I don't really understand. If you have to share the whole money with what? Your spouse? Of course. Now, this is what you have to understand. I believe that between a husband and wife, there have to be a dedicated money for the running of the house. And then number two, there have to be an extra money, free money, that the wife has access to. For instance, women always have needs. And women always know that there are some things that are needed at the home that may not be within budget. And so there have to be some, what we call miscellaneous needs. And there have to be some amount of money dedicated to that. For instance, your wife doesn't need to come and ask you money to buy sanitary pads. Your wife doesn't need come to ask you money to buy underwears and braziers and all of that. There have to be a dedicated money, extra money, free money that is available to her. She goes to the market, or let's say Ross, and sees some pants that are on sale. It may not be budgeted for, but we need it, or we might need this. There have to be some free money so she can be able to. So to share the money, yes, of course, let your spouse know, hey, I have this extra money. Okay, let's put this into this. You can keep this to yourself. Oh, this is due. Can you help with that? And blah, blah, blah. When we are transparent with our finances, guess what? It builds trust, it builds confidence, and then there is joy and happiness in a marriage. What I want us to avoid is the ones who are clingy and hiding money. This is my money. I don't care whether the family has money or not. You are hoarding money, and bills are due, and it's not paid. There's no food, and the light is about to turn off, and you are sitting on the money. What kind of spouse are you? What kind of husband are you? What kind of wife are you? These are the things we want to avoid, okay? And if we do that, I think it will be of a tremendous blessing, okay? All right, so again, let's see. Keep your question coming. Sister Onelda is watching. Thank you for watching. Emma Mbiti, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Share the video. Minister Renee is watching. Thank you. What should you do if your spouse is a spender? I'm going to answer that. Thank you. All right, so keep the question coming, and let's do this together. I think I've answered some of the questions. Keep bringing the question. Now let's move on. What is the connection between money and marriage? Number 4. Okay, number 3, I didn't finish. So extravagant spending, stinginess, greed, etc. are all bad money habits. Many people are extravagant in spending, or they themselves or outsiders, but are stingy at home. These are some people who also take family money and go and blow it on strangers. And then their family is struggling. They want to impress everybody out there. And so they will go out of their way. It's like husbands who will do anything for anybody outside, but when they come home, they can't help their wife, they can't help their children. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong. So if you have bad money habits, you have to change it and correct that immediately. Then number four, the number 4 one also that a connection, love for money. Love for money. There are some people that love money. Love of money, which is the root of all evil, is also the root of many marriage divorces. When you love money to the point where you don't care who you kick under the bus, you don't care what lie you tell, you don't care how you get it, it's a bad thing, and that has also led to many divorces. This is where people think that some bait people to fall in love with them so they can steal their money. This is what some people have used as a reason to come up with prenuptial agreement and contract and all of that. As Christians, I don't believe that it is right. But if you are going to marry somebody who loves money and doesn't care to kill, the last time, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, NBC was doing this documentary, a guy who has married 6 or 7 women, 6 of them, and 4 of them have ended up dying. And every one of them, he is the only one who collects the life insurance money. I said, this guy is building a career of marrying women and killing them. That is somebody who loves money. All right? It's strange. It's wickedness. And so if you are married and you are a lover of money, you may end up destroying your marriage. So love of money can create and has been the result of many divorces in our world today. So people who love money, all right, have this foundation of greed. It's greed. It's greed. And the greed, when they love money, they want to show off. So they want to buy things they cannot afford. They want to drive a car they cannot handle. And it leads to stinginess, it leads to stealing, it leads to lying, it leads to competition. You see people competing with the Joneses and all of that. They become workaholic because it's not like they are working to provide, but they just want to hoard money. And when they see money, they are happy. When they don't see money, they are not happy. As much as money is good, you cannot love money to the detriment and at the expense of your own health, your happiness, and that of your family and your marriage. All right? Because we've seen a lot of people work so hard, make a lot of money, but they don't spend it on nobody. Their wife don't get to enjoy it. Their husband don't get to enjoy it. Their children don't benefit from it. And certainly, it's their money and nobody else. Okay? They like to open their account and see, oh, I got $100,000, $200,000 stored in my account. And that excites them. Well, if you die, who's going to spend it? Did I tell you the story of a couple? This man who was well-to-do had secret bank accounts with stash of money that the wife didn't know. And this man was sick and went to the doctors, and they misdiagnosed him that he had an aggressive cancer and that he has a short period to die. And this man, out of desperation, knowing that he has come to his wit end and was going to die, had no choice than to begin to reveal secrets to the wife and gave the wife, access to all the account. Oh, here's my bank account here. I have this amount of money there. I have this here, and all of that. And 2 weeks after, and because he was misdiagnosed, truly the man also started feeling the symptoms, even though he didn't have cancer. They told him he had cancer, stage 4 cancer, and he was about to die. And then 2 weeks later, the doctors called and they said, oh, we are so sorry that we read somebody else, we gave you somebody else's report. It wasn't your test. You don't have cancer. My God. Number one, the man was relieved. 2 things you can learn from that. One, because the man heard the report and believed the report, started immediately losing weight and manifesting the symptoms of cancer, even though he didn't have the cancer. And number 2, he was forced to open up and tell. And so by the time he realized and said, hey, honey, I want all the information back, now the wife knows. And so the wife was so surprised that we've been married this long, and you have all this money, and we've been through difficult times, and you know how much sometimes I've been stranded and I needed money, and you never volunteered to give me the money. That's somebody who loves money. That's somebody who doesn't care about nobody. And maybe that's the reason why he was misdiagnosed and given somebody else's report when it wasn't his report. All right? So, love of money, it's a very bad one. And then number 5, independent mindedness. Independent mindedness. Okay, there are some people who are so selfish, it's all about them. So they're working so hard. Again, you see all these things are interrelated. They're working so hard, and it's about me. Independent mindedness. Many people believe that their money is independent of their marriage. Yeah, it's my money. That's our marriage. This one is my money. You can't be that independent. And the two shall be one. When we came before the altar and shared that holy vow, your God shall be my God, and my God shall be your God. Your wealth shall be my wealth. Your house shall be where you go is where I go. Ladies and gentlemen, we share everything in common. And so you can't come into marriage with that independent minded. And that creates tension when it comes to our finances. All right? So you cannot do that, and it has to be avoided at all costs. And I made my money, and I should be able to spend it the way I want. This is the main reason money is destroying many homes. That independent mindset. I made my money. I'm going to spend it how I want. So I'm going to go buy $3,000 back, even though the mortgage has not been paid. That's wrong. It destroys the home. Well, let me handle some questions again before we continue. What should I do if my husband is a spender? Wow, that's a big one. That's a big one. I thought usually it's the women that spend. I'm not sure about that, but let's try to. I will put it this way. It's absolutely not right, because, and it's true though. It's true. There's a case or a situation that came before me some time ago. This guy works, make good money, but at the end of the month, the wife doesn't know what and where the money goes. What are you doing with the money? Where does the money go? So to the point where the wife is beginning to suspect, is this guy paying some child support somewhere? Is this guy having some side chick somewhere that the money is being diverted to and all of that? Some people don't know how to handle money. And so this is what I say. If we are a couple, husband and wife, we sit down and we have an honest conversation and see, hey, looking at how you are, these are your strengths. And I think I'm better in managing money. And between the two, there's always one person who is good at handling money, paying bills timely, making sure that things are done when it has to be done. And so if the two of you can agree on that, then we say, okay, you take the full responsibility, making sure that when the money comes, the bills are paid on time. You schedule for the mortgage to be paid or the rent to be paid, the light bills are paid, the phone bills are paid, car notes are paid, and then also, all right, by the way, you can have this. So it has to be regulated, and you have to approach it cautiously so it doesn't look like you are trying to control him. You are doing this thing for the benefit of the marriage, the home, all right, the children, so that there's not consistent this argument about money today, this hasn't been paid, because there are some couples, when you look at, they make enough money that they should never be under financial stress. But because they waste the money, because situations like this, maybe one partner spends more than is necessary or should be spending, and that can create a problem. So there has to be an honest conversation, and if that doesn't work, then you have to seek counseling. You have to seek an intervention, all right, for you to talk about it and deal with it. Because at the end of the day, it is going to be in his vested interest that the resources are not wasted, that the money is harnessed and is properly channeled to the benefit of the entire family. Very critical and very important. Okay? Now, here's another question. If you married, should you have a secret bank account? The big one, I knew that was coming. And that has always been the problem. That is the problem. That has been the problem. I will only suggest that only when, like, you are dealing with a situation where your husband is a waster or your wife is a waster, and you have tried several times to talk and curb that bad habit, and it's not. You have to find a way to save money for the rainy day. When, a friend of mine told me something some time ago that really resonated with me, that they were faced with a critical situation and condition, and the wife went and brought $9,000. And he was shocked. And he said, where did you get this money from? He said, all the money you have been giving me and all the money that people have been giving me, I have been saving it. And in that day, he respected the wife and said this, that if you hadn't come in with this money, would have been. And guess what? There was a lot of money passing through their hand, and the money was wasted. Secret, not in the sense that I'm being selfish and stingy and I'm keeping it to myself. Secret only in the sense that I'm saving this money for the day that an event or something that is unexpected will happen, that we will need an emergency fund, that we don't need to go borrow, that we don't need who to call on. I can go and pull that money out and say, here is it. I've been keeping this money secretly for a day like this. In that sense, I agree to that. But where the debate has always happened, husband is keeping secret money or account and hiding it from the spouse, the wife. And the wife is doing the same. Now, who are you fooling? And they keep the money to themselves, and then the home is now well managed. Bills are due. There are past payments, fees, late charges, and all of that. I don't think that makes sense, especially if you both love each other and you are in this thing for good. Okay? So, again, I want to explain my answer. I only agree to the secret bank account if you are saving the money now for the purposes of hiding and being stingy and being selfish. If it is for the family, only on a rainy day, I agree to that. You can do that. Save that money. It's a wise way of doing things because you never know tomorrow. You never know tomorrow. But if you are doing it because I want to save and stash the money, all right? I'm taking the money, hiding it for my own personal benefit. I'm never going to reveal it. Nobody's going to know. And then I'm okay. Then I disagree with that kind of lifestyle. I think you have to be honest and let your spouse know that, hey, this is what we got. This is where we are. We're planning together. We are in this thing together and all of that. It builds confidence. It builds trust. Because if you keep these secret accounts and your husband finds out, your wife finds out that you've been running this secret account and you've been doling money out of it to people and doing things, and home have not been, good. There's always financial stress, financial pressure. How do you think she's going to think about you? How do you think he's going to think about you? That's going to break trust within a marriage and a relationship. And you don't want that. These are some of the things that leads to divorce. Okay? And like I said earlier on, the way some people, like this tax money is coming, have you sat down to have a conversation? What you both going to do with it? Because this is an annual thing. The stimulus check is coming. Have you sat down to think about what you're going to do? Can you sit down and say, okay, we're going to put money down for down payment to get our own house. We want to pay down our debts. Or let's change the family car. The car is worn out. We keep going to the mechanic. We keep spending money. Can we get a new car? Sit down. I've seen situations where husband said, I'm going to file my own money. And when I file it, I'm going to keep it to myself. You to go file. They have children. They say, you take 2 children. You to take 1 child. I mean, it makes no sense. It's crazy. Only do that if that is going to let you guys get more refund and that is going to benefit the family. You put the resources together. I don't see how you say you are married together, you have a common destiny, you are trying to build forever together, and you are hiding resources from one another. And I'm saying this, all these things going on, there are bills that are delayed. There are situations that are delayed. So how do we reconcile this? And this is what I want you to think about and look into. Okay? Now, another question. I only have enough money for tithes, offering, bills. How can I save? That's an interesting one. How you can also, here's what I want you to understand. I believe strongly that if you plan very well, all right? One friend of mine told me something, that sometimes we are so in a hurry to pay our debt and stuff that we never save money for emergency situations and even cushion ourselves. So he gave me an advice. He said, your creditors will always be there. That's the business they do. So instead of taking all your money to try to go and pay your credit card over and do all of that, save some money. Because if you don't save money, you will keep always borrowing. Because that's the point. If I don't save the money and I pay my credit card off and an emergency happens and there's no money for me to go and fix the car, change the tires, replace the fridge, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to the creditors and borrow again. So whilst I'm paying, so he advised that pay the minimum and save money until you are able to build your savings to a point. Then now you begin to tackle your debt. So that God forbid it, if there's an emergency, there's always savings. You can go in there and put money and pull money out of there. And number 2, remember, when we tithe, God always provide and bless. And number 3, look for something on the side to do that will generate an additional income. Where when you make that money, you put it into your savings. Savings culture should always be there. All right, so to answer that, of course, keep giving your tithe. Of course, keep giving your offerings. It's non-negotiable. And when it comes to the bills, here is what I tell you. Pay the ones that are due critically, pay them. The credit cards and what have you, pay the minimum. And try. If even you can't save what you desired, if even it is $20, if even it is $30, if even it is $50, every month, put it aside. It will add up. And eventually, you will see that your finances will begin to do well. All right? Okay, so Pastor Nana other day says that we need multiple streams of income. And I totally agree to that. All right? Do something on the side. And today, with social media and people selling on Facebook Marketplace, Twitter Marketplace, and all of that, consignment selling, some of the things you've worn that you don't wear no more, sell them. Do that. Make money. Put it in the savings. Okay? And watch God. God will bless you, and your life will not be the same again. All right. Keep the questions coming, and let's keep flowing. So let's look at number 6 connection. Number 6 connection of money and marriage. The number 6 connection. The what we call, number 6, is irresponsibilities. Irresponsibility. Some people are simply irresponsible. Many of them are making money, but will never take care of themselves and their children. Irresponsibility. Now, people who spend money, earn money, and blow the money in their mouth, waste the money. There are some people, every new and latest sneakers that comes, they're going to buy it. Sneakers for $500. Sneakers this. My friend, your wardrobe is full of sneakers that if you go and value them, the money you spend on that, those are thousands of dollars. You don't wear them no more. Why won't you auction them? Why won't you sell them and save them? The irresponsibility also create problem. The tension of people who make money, yet they won't take care of their obligation. They won't pay the rent. They won't pay the car notes until now it's last minute. They're wasting their money. They do parties. When the money comes, they go on shopping spree, buying things they don't need. And they won't help their children. They won't support their wife. They won't support their husband. Guess what? You are being irresponsible. An irresponsible husband, an irresponsible wife will create tension in a marriage and in a relationship, and it will cause the relationship to collapse. So, at all costs, we want to avoid this irresponsible behavior that we will be tempted to do. And that's the truth. How many children haven't we met who are so mad at their parents? My father didn't take care of me. My mother didn't take care of me. My mother never played no role. Why? Because they took off. They took off with a side chick. They took off with another man. You know, recently a gentleman came into my office and said something that really broke my heart. He said, I thought that it was men that left their marriages and left their children and didn't care. But as for me, it is my mother. My mother left us when we were young. And the father was the one who absolutely took care of him. And when he said that, it really broke my heart. I said, wow. These are some of the irresponsible situations that people find themselves in. You can be making money, earning money, and wasting the money. And living a kind of life that is not, you do not want to be such an irresponsible wife or irresponsible husband that your children grows up without the love and support that they need. Marriages have been destroyed because of these behavior, and we want to avoid it at all costs. Most times, people talk more about money for business and do not consider its relationship with a family. There's no place where money is more relevant than at home. It is important, okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 19 says, a feast is made for laughter and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. Money answereth all things. I've said it before. If you meet anybody who tells you money is not good, that person is just the devil you just met. Money is good. It's the love of money. And how do you know you love money? When money controls you. When money dictates to you. When money is what determines how you love people, how you care about people, then money has become your God. Money should never be your God. Money is just a tool in our hands we use. And God wants us to have it abundantly. Okay? Remember this. God wants you to have money abundantly. And that abundant money, God is the only one who can give it to you. And that's my prayer for you. Okay? All right. I have a comment here. It's a great teaching, Bishop. And then there's another question. If you are dating someone, there is issues about money already. What should you do? Run. Run. Let me tell you, marriage doesn't change nobody. And I think that's a breaking news. You cannot change nobody. Nobody has the power to change anybody. Only God has the power to change people. And let me tell you this. That's why when somebody is fornicating and committing adultery or whatever, and he tells you that, oh, if I marry, I'll stop all these things. Who told you? Who told you? You are going to take who you are into that marriage. And in fact, the marriage is going to blow it up. So if you can't control yourself now and you go and marry, it's not going to change it. So if you don't know how to handle money and you are being stingy and you are being reckless and you don't share, you don't give, you are not generous, and you are wasting the money, and you are saying that, oh, honey, when I marry you, everything is going to be fine. When I marry you, I will surprise you. When I marry you, I will take you to this. Do it now. Share with me now. Let me know now. If you can't do it now, what shows that when we finally say, I do, you are going to change? So I will advise you, if especially you talk about it and you are not seeing no change, it's telling you that, hey, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. So I will advise you, if you know you can't handle it, then be smart and call it quits. Okay? It is better for you to be happy as single than to be miserable married. Again, it is better to be happy single than to be very miserable married. And that's the situation of a lot of people. They are married, but they are very miserable. I would prefer to be single, very happy, very content, very fulfilled, than to be married and be miserable and confused. Okay? All right. Any other question? Here's another question. What if your marriage has always been about money and nothing else? How does that mean? Like financial problems or what? If that is the question, then it means that we're not learning. We're not growing. Okay? We have to sit down and find out. Me, I always sit down and I ask myself, am I living within my means? If there's something I want to do, for instance, I wanted to buy a new car, I have to sit down. How much is the car note payment going to be? Can we be able to afford? If we can afford, where can I cut? What can I cut? What can I do? Or what more can I do to generate more income, to supplement the income I already have, to make sure that I can be able to afford this, because I don't want anything to destabilize our family. I don't want to live under stress and pressure. And so, okay, this is what I can do more. That's what I can do. Or I can cut this off. I can take this off. And that's what I did. That's what I did. So at the end of the month, I don't need to go beg nobody. At the end of the month, I don't need to go scam nobody or go asking anybody or telling the car note people, please give me one more month, give me one more week. No. It's planning. So we have to sit down and talk. Are we living within our means? And if we are living within our means, okay, then why is there a tension? Is somebody working? Is somebody not working? If we're not working, why are we not working? So we have to sit down and look at all these things. There have to be honest conversation. When it comes to finances, there have to be honest conversation. If you won't have honest conversation, the solution will not be found. All right? So I hope that we pray about the situation, talk about it, and then sit down and see how we can properly resolve these kind of challenges in a marriage. Because I told you, it's one of the major causes of divorce worldwide, not just in America, worldwide. Money issues, okay? Here's another question. All right. How do you handle when your husband is using joint funds to take care of extended family and spends and expect you to run the home? That's wrong. It has to be discussed. It has to be discussed. Again, that's another gray area that brings a lot of argument in marriages, especially those of us immigrants who are here, who have families back home that are expecting that you'll be going to the treasury of the United States of America and pulling money and sending to them for them to live, because they think money grows on tree in America. Money does not grow on trees in America, okay? So what do you have to do? Husband and wife, and during counseling, I share these things with young couples. I said, you both have to sit down and agree that at every month, we will support each other's family with, let's say, $50 or $100. And it is budgeted for. But it is totally and completely wrong for you to take family money or joint account that you both are working into and you alone are servicing your family. Please get me right here. I'm not saying that don't help your family. I'm not saying it has to be discussed. Because just like you have a family, your wife also has a family. The husband also has a family. And these dependents are looking forward that because our sibling or our son or our daughter lives in America, we are expecting. And it is required of you. And it's a good thing to do. And God will bless you as you do that. But it has to be discussed. And there are some times where the need of one family will be more than the need of the other. It has to be understood. And as couples, when it is understood, for instance, I have more siblings than my wife does. And the needs in my siblings and my family are more, even than hers. Okay? But then it has to be discussed. I cannot say that, oh, because this, I'm going to take money and then just send it to them without my wife's knowledge and then expect that she will do magic. And no, it's completely wrong. So again, communication. Let's communicate. Let's talk. And as you talk, love, that's where love comes in. Because I love you and I want you to do well. Your family is my family. My family is your family. Guess what? I don't have a problem. But if you do it behind me, if you bully me, if you want to abuse my leniency, then that is completely wrong. So it has to be discussed, and there have to be a conversation about that. Okay? So that is about that. And I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I didn't finish. If I get the opportunity to come back again, we'll continue. We'll look at the place of money in marriage, how it is important, and then we'll also look at money attitudes that can lead to divorce. Money attitude that can lead to divorce. Okay? Those who operate, it's my own money system. It's my money. I'm going to do what I want. And it doesn't matter the counseling we give you. It doesn't matter. Some people, what I'm talking about, there are wise ones who will take it and run with it. There are foolish ones who will take it and brush it away. That's Bishop's opinion. Let him do it. I've seen people who have said these things. And today, guess what? It has blew up in their faces. So I pray that God will help our understanding. And all of you who join us today, thank you so much. Okay. Letitia says, it's said that as Christians, the two is one. Transparency is key. But if your spouse doesn't live with the mindset of savings and investment, can you hide it from him? I think I've answered that. Only for the purposes of rescuing us in time. Because you have to be wise. It's like the way Abigail was married to the husband who was very Nabal, who was very foolish. If she wasn't wise, David would have come to kill all of them. All right? So be wise and be smart. In circumstances like that, I don't see anything wrong with that. Because I have no ill motive. My motive is that I want to preserve our future. I want to hide this money just in case there's a trouble, there's a challenge. I can bring these and pull it out for us to. And women do that. And some men do that, which is, I think, is a good thing. I don't see anything wrong with that. All right? So thank you all for watching tonight. I hope, I said tonight, this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed it because I'm always talking at night times. Please join me tonight as I continue the series on breaking financial hardship. We're looking at biblical concept of breaking that yoke of financial challenges and showing you from God's word that it's the will of God for you and I to prosper and have money abundantly. All right? When we have money abundantly, all these stresses and challenges will go. Sunday is Pastor Victoria's birthday, and we all want to remember her in prayer. And please send her messages, call her, and let her know that you love her. Love you guys, and if I get a privilege to come again, I'll continue where I stopped. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.